G. Roberts, Jr., do solemnly swear. I, John G. Roberts, Jr., do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
And that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will execute the office of President to the United States faithfully,
that I will execute
the office of President of the
the office
United
of President of the
States,
United States faithfully,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President. All the best wishes. Preserve, protect, and defend
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. Thank you so much.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President. Well done. I, Barack Hussein Obama,
I,
do
Barack-
solemnly swear
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will execute the office of President to the United States faithfully,
that I will execute
the office of President of the
the office
United
of President of the
States,
United States faithfully,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President. All the best wishes.
It was take two at the White House Wednesday night. In a rare do-over, Chief Justice John Roberts administered the presidential oath of office to Barack Obama for a second time.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
Roberts flubbed the oath on Tuesday, causing Obama to repeat the wording differently than as prescribed in the Constitution.
Barack Hussein Obama,
I,
do
Barack-
solemnly swear
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will execute the office of President to the United States faithfully,
that I will execute
the office of President of the
the office
United
of President of the
States,
United States faithfully,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and
But
defend.
the scene was a little different the second time around. The men were in the White House map room in front of a small group of reporters and not on the Capitol platform while the world watched. Some constitutional experts say the do-over probably was not necessary, but that it couldn't hurt. Obama is the third president to repeat the oath. Calvin Coolidge and Chester A. Arthur had similar issues. Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
It was short and sweet, just 42 words.
So help me God.
And with that, the second term begins. Last time around, Chief Justice Roberts flubbed the words.
Execute the office of
This time,
preserve,
he took
protect, and
notes.
defend.
Tomorrow, President Obama will tie a record, taking the oath for the fourth time. There was the flubbed one 4 years ago, a redo the next day. Today's official oath required by the Constitution to be done before noon on January 20th, and the ceremonial one tomorrow before his inaugural speech. As many oaths as FDR, and he was elected 4 times. The challenge for President Obama this time is to recapture the energy and enthusiasm of 4 years ago, when a record 1.8 million people descended on Washington to witness the history-making swearing in of the nation's first African-American president. Nobody expects a crowd that big again. This time, the president will have his hand on 2 Bibles, Abraham Lincoln's and Martin Luther King's. In a video released by the White House, the president explained why.
Letting them know that there's a connection between me being here and the sacrifices of those in the past. And it's
Never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's death.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. This moment calls for healing and reconciliation. 2020 has been a challenging time for our people. A menacing pandemic has upended the lives of our citizens, isolated millions in their homes, damaged our economy, and claimed countless lives. Defeating this pandemic and rebuilding the greatest economy on earth will require all of us working together. It will require a renewed emphasis on the civic values of patriotism, faith, charity, community, and family. We must revitalize the sacred bonds of love and loyalty that bind us together as one national family. Focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. Never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's death involved.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
My fellow Americans, a moment we have all been waiting for.
The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward. I understand they worry about their jobs. I understand, like my dad, they lay at bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, can I keep my health care? Can I pay my mortgage? Thinking about their families, about what comes next, distrusting those who don't look like you, sources you do. We must end this uncivil war that pits red against blue, rural versus urban, conservative versus liberal. We need all our strength to persevere through this dark winter. We're entering what may be the toughest and deadliest period of the virus. We must set aside politics and finally face this pandemic as one nation. One nation. And I promise you this, as the Bible says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. We will get through this together. Together. And my first act as president, I'd like to ask you to join me in a moment of silent prayer. Remember all of those who we lost in this past year to the pandemic. Those 400,000 fellow Americans, moms, dads, husbands, wives, sons, daughters, friends, neighbors, and co-workers. We'll honor them by becoming the people and the nation we know we can and should be. So I ask you, let's say a silent prayer for those who've lost their lives and those left behind, and for our country. Amen. Folks, this is a time of testing.
How come nobody's talked about this yet? Listen, I want you to listen to his speech, and you tell me what he says. Just listen close when he says, my dad.
I understand, like my dad, they lay at bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, can I keep my health care? Can I pay my mortgage?
Did he just say, like my dad, who lays in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about if he can pay for his health care? Dude, your dad died September 2nd, 2002. It's in the Baltimore Sun. But the funny thing is, if you look online from his Wikipedia page about his father's death, it won't pop up anymore. Strange, right? And another fun fact, this part of the speech, it wasn't written in for him to say his dad. So he kind of ad-libbed and did his own deal on that.
I understand they worry about their jobs. I understand, like my dad, they lay at bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, can I keep my health care? Can I pay my mortgage? Thinking about their families, about what comes next.
I'm sure his handlers were all smacking themselves for that one. I was looking at Biden's inauguration again, and I noticed none of the military had any ranks or honors on their jackets. So I decided to go back and look at other past inaugurations, and I noticed Bush, they had their ranks on their jackets. I looked at Obama. This isn't actually the inauguration, but it is a laying of the wreath. For some reason, the video wouldn't edit that I found for Obama's inauguration, but you can see here they all have their military rank on their jackets, and the next one you'll see with Trump has his. And I want you to notice too that all three of them were able to touch the wreath and kind of push it back on the stand. But I want you to notice Biden's on what happens with his here, because his is different. Because remember, there's no military rank on any of the jackets anywhere. You can't find them. And you're going to see he doesn't walk down the steps. He walks out from the left if you're facing the tomb, which is weird. So you see there's no military ranking on any military officer there. They don't get to touch the wreath for some reason. They have to walk up to it and do this awkward, hey buddy, how you doing, kind of thing. And then they stand there, look at it, and then they turn around and walk back. So why? I also want to point out that they did the 21 gun salute with 2 guns actually at the cemetery when he arrived to the tomb of the unknown soldier. And then you got these 3 knuckleheads that showed up for some reason, which is weird too. And they showed up way before the family did, because you can see the family walking in. But I figured out why they did the 1:22 seconds of silence or awkwardness from my last video. It was because they were supposed to do the 21 gun salute after the president got sworn in. This is Trump's 21 gun salute directly after he got sworn into office as president. Now you can go back and you can find videos where you can hear Obama's going off, you can hear Bush's going off, but Biden didn't do it for some reason. And the military didn't have their honors on or their ranks. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Now I want to read this about the 21 gun salute. It says, in accordance with the ceremonial standard operating procedure of the 3rd U.S. Infantry, i.e. the Old Guard, the various gun salutes are assigned as follows. Each round in a given salute is fired one at a time. The number of cannon used in a battery depends upon the intervals between each round fired. Now, I want you to notice that Trump had 4 cannons firing. Now, the military code says they want an odd number firing, so this isn't all that awkward with 4 of them firing. But I want you to look back at Biden's inauguration when they're laying the wreath and he's pulling up, that there's 3 cannons there. 2 are actually firing every 6 seconds, which will bring it to 2 minutes and 6 seconds by the time it's all done. Now, this is interesting here. A 3-gun battery firing 2 of its guns with 5-second intervals between rounds and 1 gun remaining at the ready in case of a misfire. Such a battery would be used at an armed forces full honors funeral or for a state arrival ceremony of a foreign dignitary at the Tomb of the Unknowns in Arlington National Cemetery. So they were firing 2 guns, that is right on with this, for a arrival of a foreign dignitary. What's up with that? I think you can figure that out now, can't you?